and I won't. Because I have a consent fetish.
Dali, since he doesn't want to
Yes.
answer to a claim, maybe he will want to answer to a conspiracy theory I have around Anthony. I think he just built a pond in his house for the
How's everybody doing
biggest dad
Can you hear
joke
me?
of
Oh,
the
I should
year.
probably put these on.
Yeah, because he's talking.
Have they been wiped down?
I've wiped him. Okay, FK, start that over, please, so Anthony can hear.
Yeah, hello, Anthony. Since you don't want to answer to a claim, I just have a conspiracy theory around you. I think that you built the pond in your house just to have the biggest dad joke, so that people ask, "What are you doing outside?" You can just say, "I am pondering."
Oh.
That was a long hike for that view. Boo.
Oh, yes. Renaissance says boo.
This is so cool watching the live show text as we're sitting here talking.
Indeed.
You know, this is kind of a nice break because I've been cleaning out my wife's parents' house. They passed away a few years ago. So we've been, this is like our 4th trip out to Los Angeles to try to clean out the house. I think this might be our last trip.
Okay.
But it's nice to get away from it to do this.
Yeah.
When I walked up here, you had about 5 people.
I did.
In line wanting to sit down and do talks.
And because of our they disconnected a little bit, and we used up their window.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. There's plenty of people coming by.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then there's 4 guys in a truck, which I'm hoping not to see again.
Right. They said you can't be here. You need a permit.
Yeah.
And we chatted with them a little bit. We assured them we weren't selling anything.
Right. Just interviewing people.
I think that appeased them.
Yeah.
And
especially that we were willing to go through the whatever. Okay, please tell me the hoops to jump through, and we'll jump through them. And yeah, I would be willing to jump through hoops to get the permits of the thing if that's the required thing. And there's also a whole bunch of other places in Los Angeles that might not require permits.
Yeah. They're probably just used to chasing people out of here who are selling stuff.
I bet.
But I've seen people sell stuff that have not had, well, I haven't noticed them getting any, not that I'm here all that much. But.
Yeah, and really, I wouldn't know if they had a permit.
Good point.
Yeah, I wouldn't know whether one way or the other. Okay, yeah, so
what's up?
Welcome. Good to meet you in person. It doesn't seem actually all that different. I mean, in 3D, you look the same as you do on video, except for that mask.
I know. I wish I could have it off.
Mm-hmm.
My face is sweating.
Mm-hmm.
And Kimberly went to go get some bug spray for us.
Okay, good. Yeah, she's good at knowing what to fix.
Yeah.
So, the wide angle camera. We'll work about that after we.
Yeah, there's no wide angle shot for some reason. I don't know. We tried. We really tried.
Well,
sure what's going on with that.
Well, maybe do that another pass.
Kimberly's going to CVS now. Ralph's was out of bug spray. Oh man.
Okay, so that means she has to find a new parking space, or maybe she's walking.
I think she walked to the first place.
Okay,
but I don't know if that means that she needs to drive somewhere.
So how did your parking go?
It was easy.
Oh,
yeah, just parked at the bottom of that hill there. Yeah, there's no problem.
Wow. We had to drive around for 20 minutes before we found a parking spot that was at least a half a mile away down a whole bunch of steep hill. So
I wonder
we didn't get lucky.
No, you didn't. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But because it's a lot of equipment you have out here.
Yeah, we did manage to pretty much get it all on the cart. I carried the studio bag on my back, and the video bag just fits in. The video bag is this big, and the studio bag is huge.
It's always interesting how many people will stop and just wonder what's going on here, and then it's usually an opening to explain what we're doing, and then maybe even get people to stop.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get some good talks in today.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that first one was great.
Was it?
Yeah,
with the fellow that was sitting here.
Yeah. His claim was Everything happens for a reason, and it eventually went into God, and we sort of stayed on that. The confidence actually that was asked was confidence that the creator exists. There is a creator, and that was at 90. He said 100, and then when asked to put it on the scale, he made it 90. That's really cool. Most of the time when I find somebody is talking about 100, they will reach it over here and then push it off. I'll actually see the needle go off the scale when it becomes a faith claim. And in this case, he just put it right there, which I interpreted as 90, and he didn't argue. So, all right, great.
Well, when I heard you ask him what would move him up,
yeah, and he was like,
super long pause. That was
yeah,
good. Yeah,
wild aporia on that. And then I even then, after he was done, handed him a few hypotheticals that would move me up, and he agreed those would move him up. Yes, yeah, 1 Kings 18 or grow back an amputee limb after calling on a name, and that kind of thing. And he agreed that those would move him up. And then even with that, he could not think of a move him down.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So we ended on a test that can't find a failure is not a meaningful, useful test. That's where we left. And he was very happy. Rapport was great. So if I get a rapport in positive numbers, then I can reap the bonus points from aporia.
There you go.
Yeah.
He seemed really excited about what we're doing out here.
Yeah.
Can we turn down the volume in mine just a tad?
Yep, that would be here.
It's way better. Yeah.
Way better. Good.
Yeah, it was blasting.
Don't want to blow you out.
Dolly.
Yes.
So I have a question.
How'd you get into this?
For Anthony.
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, Anthony,
go ahead.
so
we're taking questions from the audience?
After,
yep. Okay. Yes.
So in your however many years you've been practicing street epistemology, how has your kind of spiel or your technique evolved, and what's your biggest takeaway at this point?
It's evolved quite a bit. I literally used to go out with a sign saying, "Why do you think God exists?" 5-minute chats, something like that. Like I had a specific topic that I wanted to explore with people.
Yep.
So plus I think I was going about it all the wrong way. Like I was going at it with an agenda, or at least at the very least like a specific topic that I wanted to explore. And it's changed over the years to the point where I ask people to pick the topic. What do you want to talk about? Because you start to learn that you can use this approach with almost any claim.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't even matter what the claim is. Well, if it's a claim that they think is true and it's important to them, that's the important thing. Because when you engage with somebody using this approach, you're challenging them on something that's very important to them.
Yep.
And then the technique isn't really much that different. You're listening, you're repeating back, you're figuring out how sure you are that this is true. So I think that if you pick a topic that they want to talk about, I'm thinking that they will be more engaged.
Yeah.
And maybe it will stick with them longer, so that they will look into this further. Because that's my biggest goal these days. How can I leave them with something to want to look into this further and share it with a friend or something like that? Because it's nice to have a one-off talk, but if it ends there, like it's much better if they go back to tell their friends about this great talk they had. And so if they're picking a topic that I'm foisting on them, I think that was problematic. So that was a big development. I was a lot more nervous too when I first went out, because I really didn't know what to expect.
Right.
It was a big unknown. I didn't know if people were going to punch me in the face, ignore me. And really none of that happened. People were very excited about what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that was bolstering to me. That emboldened me to keep wanting to do it more and push myself when I saw the people's reactions to it. So I guess that's changed. So like today, I'm not worried about anybody sitting down to talk. I could talk to pretty much anybody, as long as they're being honest and open and they're listening and I'm not being a jerk. That's been a huge development in my own personal growth. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Was there a second part to that question? I can't remember.
William O, did we get your whole question answered?
There are some technical aspects of it too, like from a recording point of view. You know.
Oh, heck
like,
yeah!
I think I just had one camera when I went out, and
right.
You know, I would go out with 3 now. You know, and the editing has become much more complicated, and I'm spending more time on the production of it. Yeah, I mean, it's come a long way. I think it's come a long way from those early days.
Yeah, indeed. The ability to live stream in a situation like this, 6 months ago, I didn't think that this was practical. I was blown away. And I thought I was going to go out and do essentially a Reed style production with GoPros on the table and the thing that I was going to use tablets because I had them instead of GoPros, because that was, you know, maybe a trade-off that worked. And then FK, my producer, we often say that this community is self-organizing, and I really reap the benefits of all that. I start talking in general about, you know, I'm thinking of doing this channel, and it's going to be, you know, this kind of thing, and I want to talk about not just vanilla SE. I want to try all the other parts of it. And FK says, okay, you want to do some editing, but I think we can do better. Really? And he has convinced me by demonstration even that multi-camera live is less work than edited. And while there is a distinct quality difference, when I look at the good edited videos, they are spectacularly good. And then there's a special benefit to live that makes up for, oh, it's pixelated right now, or we don't have that wide camera in the moment.
Want some water? Help yourself. We're doing interviews today. Yeah.
You could be the interviewee if you want. Yes. At least another 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah. You bet.
Well, there's something to be said for live streaming it, because you avoid apparently all that editing. Well, let's take a step back. Like when I went out, it was a one-man operation.
Right.
I'm recording it, I'm editing it, and it never really occurred to me to, like, although people have volunteered to help me, I figured this is just my thing, and I'll just upload it, and I don't want to trouble anybody. Now, in retrospect, that was probably not the best thing to do. I probably should have taken advantage of the people who, not taken advantage.
Yeah. Allowed their involvement.
Allowed other people to get involved as necessary. Now I do that to some extent, like on the video, on the audio, I'll send that out. But still, for the most part, I edit it and put it all together. But it takes me a shitload of time. Now, I did go out with, I used to live stream. I don't know if you knew that or not.
That was on a different platform?
I used Periscope.
Periscope, yeah.
But the thing with that, it was cumbersome to start and stop a broadcast. So I would basically just continuously live stream.
Okay.
And my phone would be tucked in behind my GoPro.
Right.
Live streaming. So I'd be walking. I'd basically be saying, do you mind if I would do an interview with you and record you as they're being recorded in live stream?
Yep.
Whereas with this setup, there's a safe zone over here, right?
Yeah.
People can see what's going on. They can talk to us. They can figure out what's going on. They have a little bit of a decision-making process going on. And then they're usually pretty comfortable sitting down and talking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like in the process, as we walked past there, one person was like, oh, no, it's not my thing. Some people are just not happy, and that's fine. That's fine. I think SE, I really like the recorded aspect of SE, but the published is not nearly so important, in my opinion. That it's published is an advantage for the teaching purposes. But if you're going to do SE and not record it, you're missing out on at least half of your own review and learning opportunity. So, you know, just slap a recorder on the table so that you can hear it later, and maybe you can share it with your personal group of people, not a published, but a private. How many people are willing to review your thing with you and give you feedback? And that is tremendously important.
there's another aspect of the live broadcasting that addresses, as opposed to the let me record a whole bunch of things and upload that one that I like.
Yep.
Is that you're showing everything.
Yep.
You're showing the boring ones, the ones that don't go very well, and it's a true representation of what's happening out here. That's not the case when you have somebody recording and then editing and selectively putting that up there. So, but I mean, I'm not. All of it's good.
Yeah.
All of it's good because, you know, somebody might be introduced to SE from the live stuff, and then maybe they want to share a more polished production with a friend or something.
Yeah. Like Reed's stuff is so polished and beautiful. And I really respect his desire to keep the Cordial Curiosity channel with those really polished, high impact videos. Which is why I think he does his live stream on Twitch, so it doesn't kind of overlap on.
He's kind of straddling both, isn't he?
Yeah, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So create clickbait for SE, JCC asks.
Oh, that's so funny because I have a picture to share. I'm gonna put that in the SE Discord.
Okay, good.
Did you see the vehicle with the clickbait license plate?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna post it in the group.
Excellent. So Riddell had a question, and then I have an answer to a question we started to answer before. But Riddell gets to be in front of me.
What's the question?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't see it typed. I just see it like, can I ask a question?
Are you in the live show text channel?
Yes, live show text.
Okay. How does this? Reed wants to know how this compares to the Rose Bowl Park area. I haven't been there. I love this spot. This is fantastic.
We haven't had to put up the umbrella because we found shade. That's a huge advantage.
Take a picture of you.
If I thought this were reliable that I could get this spot, I wouldn't have to bring the umbrella. Things like that.
Yeah.
So that's a huge advantage. That umbrella is a good 15 minutes of one person at least to do, and of course is maybe a third to half the weight that we carried up the hill because it's got these water-filled counterweights.
I've taken them down, but I don't think I've set them up.
Yeah.
Usually I get here and everything's set up. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But I do help break it down.
Indeed. Clickbait. That's great on the Tacoma. That's fun.
I uploaded a picture of you too.
Thank you.
Hello.
Okay.
So, Riddell, you can have it, and in the meantime, I will answer the question. How did I get started? Let's see if I can do this in one paragraph. Probably a year after Dr. Bogosian made the first book.
That shall not be named.
Oh, yeah, we can name it. The Manual for Creating Atheists. I am uncertain whether I actually read it or read a summary or watched several hours of video on the topic from Dr. Bogosian or my memory of exactly is a little fuzzy. It seems like I read a PDF of it around that time, and my memory of it was I thought this was a neat theory, but it just didn't strike with me. It didn't work at all. At around the same time I discovered your videos, and this was early on. This is 14 or so. And
that's about the time I was going out with my sign saying, "Let's talk about God."
Right. And that's around that time is when it got traction in my head, when I actually understood what the point of it was. The Manual for Creating Atheists, there were several things that turned me off about it because I was post my angry atheist phase, and I was not wanting to engage that part in me anymore.
You thought the book was promoting a more caustic engagement style?
More caustic than yours, maybe.
I agree. I think that's true.
That's where it was. The actual demonstration that you did showed me that it was a lot less confrontational. Now, I'm going to tell everybody in the audience here, I've not been quiet about this, but I have crippling social anxiety. This is weird if you think so. I especially before meeting up with Reed in late January was unwilling and unable to go out in public and speak to people without family members around to cover my ass. I'm just not. I'm just like, oh,
Even basic transactions, going to the grocery store.
yeah.
type of
Go
stuff?
to the bank. Oh no,
Mm.
you know, like, no.
Mhm.
Go to the grocery store. That's pretty easy, but I almost never do that alone anyway.
Okay.
Because go to the grocery store, we know exactly what to expect. Oh, you would like me to put these items in here and then bag them over here and pay here. Okay, no problem.
There's not a usual lot of conversation except maybe a little bit of chit chat.
Right.
Yeah.
So no problem there. And then like one-on-one with somebody is pretty easy. I'm
Hello.
howdy.
How are you doing?
We're doing interviews today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do one?
Well,
Pardon?
kind of yes, but not really, in the sense that we were just talking, waiting for someone like yourself.
We're literally here for you folks. We're just passing the time and catching up.
Yeah, sure. Yours or mine?
Why don't you take them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and those are any topics you want, really. Those are just some suggestions that happened from last time. And we'll pick